Welcome to Swish, vintage finds for your sassy self. We hope you enjoy the videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hi.
Hi.
So welcome to our videos, our video series. We're Swish. I'm Angela.
I'm Natasha.
Yeah. So we thought we recently went to Vancouver, and we thought we would interview people and do all kinds of cool things for YouTube and for content for our Instagram and everything, and just for our customers to follow along on our treasure hunting journey. But we were new to it, so there's a few issues. We didn't do proper introductions of the videos, so they're a little bit choppy. So our first little, we're going to be doing a series of 4 videos. And they were with some people that we interviewed at the very beginning of our trip. We also have had lots of people talk about the volume of the videos, so we apologize in advance. They are a bit tough to, especially with Ivan. There's some really quiet ones because his back is turned. So that's our fault, and we will endeavor in the future to fix that and have maybe microphones and stuff.
Or just tell people to
yell loudly. Yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, we did meet with 2 really wonderful people, and Ivan was so kind and gracious to have us in his house, and so Ivan Sayers is I think he's on the board of the SMOC, which is the Society of the Museum of Original Costumes, which is a group of people and museum devoted to the preservation of fashion and beautiful clothing.
And Melanie from Lace Embrace is on that board also. Yes. So if you watch that video, that's what we're talking about. And if you didn't watch that video, you should watch that one because that one's really good.
Yes, she is amazing. She has an atelier in Vancouver, a corsetry and vintage lingerie museum. Anyway, so we met with Ivan Sayers and Klaus Jonka, and Klaus is a collector of Berlin, German fashion. And he told us how during the war a lot of fashion and clothing was destroyed, so it's very hard to find beautiful women's fashion of that era. So if you have any leads, let us know. So the videos that you're about to see are of us visiting with both of them, and Klaus is a bit more camera shy, so his segments are more about the product and some of the interesting.
And he had like beautiful, like jaw-dropping, or like we were gasping when we saw them. These pieces they're pretty spectacular.
Stay tuned, because my favorite is the cars.
Oh, me too.
Cars.
Yeah.
But also that dress needs to be on a body. It needs to be on a person, because you
can't get the full wow factor.
No, it's like Beyonce or something on the runway. It's amazing, amazing. Not like, who wearing that other museum dress that we will not speak of.
Eeks. Yeah.
Anyways, so we feel so honored, and we were really happy to be able to spend some time with Ivan and Klaus. And I had seen a show that they had curated about at least 10 years ago, I think. So, and it's stuck with me all these years. And wait till you see some of the pieces that we get to see.
Yeah, well, they will blow your mind. Yeah.
So I think it's 4 parts.
Yeah,
Our video is going to be about 4 parts. And this is our introduction to what we were doing there. And we apologize in advance for the low volume.
Right, so just turn it up like max.
Yes. Yes. And that's all. So thanks for watching. Give us thumbs up. You can also find the acronym for what we were talking about is SMOC, the Society of the Museum of Original Costuming. And also, you can follow, like we said, Lace Embrace also, because she's also part of that that group collective.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe
to our channel.
I mean, tell all your friends about Swish YouTube, so they can watch.
There's a little arrow, right? There's that little arrow,
Yeah,
and you can share. So you can share it to your friends' email boxes. You can share it to Facebook. You can share it to all different types of social accounts. So if you really like us, share.
Yeah.
Share. Loving is sharing. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the series.
Well, no, this is a great yeah, because that's by...
You tell, Klaus.
Yeah, that's by, what's the label again? It's Parisian.
Babani.
Babani's was originally, they were Moroccan, and they imported these things into Paris. They were quite a big name in their day. Anyway, I found the jacket, no, the top. Where did I find it?
Well, Marina was involved somehow or other.
Yeah, I bought one piece in one of the vintage stores, and then a friend of ours who's a collector had bought the other piece in a different shop.
So now we're waiting for the skirt to show up.
For the
Oh,
trousers.
yeah.
Oh, the
Probably, I would think trousers, don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think trousers.
You know, a pajama
But that was
kind
just
of
so fantastic that I
Just
found the
that
one
flow.
piece and then she found the other one.
Wow.
Which does happen.
This, a friend of mine found at Value Village.
It's kind of Ceylon. It's got that.
Whoops.
Oops.
Sorry.
And that silk, of course.
That's something. It has a label in it from Winnipeg.
But it probably
Yeah,
imported from France. Sold in Winnipeg.
Boy.
It says
Magnificent.
Paris, Winnipeg. Yes, you didn't know Winnipeg was part of Paris.
I
did you?
did not.
But isn't that something? The fabric is dynamite. And she said she was shopping with a friend who's very aggressive. And they were walking down the aisle, and this was on the floor. It had fallen off its hanger. And the friend, who thinks she's so smart, walked right by it. And then my friend picked it up. I thought it was $12.
And that would have been, what, 35?
Oh, at least
35, 40 years
Wow.
ago.
Wow.
This was bought in what is now Myanmar by a woman who was working for the United Nations after the war. She was a registered nurse. And this she bought for her trousseau in 1946 or 48.
Well, that
You know,
would have been very
46.
modern at the time. It's still, I mean, it still looks...
Yeah, it's still wearable.
You know, I get shawls like this. You know, the shawl that has the
Yeah.
embroidery and the,
Yeah.
it's the crewel work, the needlework. That is so
So I
lovely.
just showed you one of these from the 30s. Here's one from the 20s.
Oh my.
Sorry. Just make sure that it's the front to you.
Look at that work on there. Wow. Yeah, this
They're
This
pretty.
is-
They are pretty.
so pretty.
We're doing an exhibition of lace for the Italian Museum next year. The oldest piece we have to use is from 1560.
Have you been to Burano?
No,
Look at
probably
Nice.
Japanese, but it might be Chinese, but it's probably Japanese.
with the chrysanthemums.
Yeah. And this is the dress that we're going to show with it. But
Wow.
and there's the pink sash to tie in the pink.
Would have been a fabulous
Oh.
exhibit.
And this came out of the little theater group in Nelson. That came out of the Sally Ann.
So this, I have a two-piece that I might send you. This is, my grandmother had a two-piece that belonged to her great aunt Maud. It's not as luxurious. It's in cotton,
Oh yeah.
but it's really lovely, and it's in pink and black
Oh nice.
lace. It's a nice
Lace?
combination.
Huh.
Mhm.
I'm going to see my friend Maud on Thursday.
I love that name,
I
I
do
do
too.
too.
Maud.
Yeah.
This isn't terribly interesting, but it's just next on the rack. Chinese
Oh
silk
yes,
again.
not interesting.
Well, it's in pretty rough shape, but it's a wedding dress from about 1906, and the damask pattern is bamboo. So again, it's cross-cultural stuff, which is apparently politically incorrect statement to make. It needs a collar. I have lots of collars. But it's a beautiful dress. This came out of the little theatre group on Vancouver
See all the
Island.
corsetry?
Yellow Point Theatre.
We've got a Dior dress at the store that's got all the, you know, custom
All the fittings inside.
and the metal, the
Yeah.
metal label.
That's good. That is good. How much?
It's super. Well, and it says on the tag that it's a size 14, but it fits,
Oh,
of
the
course,
old,
a
old
size
Yes.
sizing.
4.
Yeah, right.
It's very small. It's peach silk.
So here's another one of those.
Wow.
Be still my heart.
And that's the blouse and skirt that would have been used.
You know, it's got, you know, it looks like, you know, the Fortuny.
Oh yeah, the
This-
pleating does, yeah.
Is
But all
reminding me-
that beautiful
This
embroidery.
is so.
So that's a different dress underneath there. This one is a hobble dress trying to look Turkish.
Oh wow.
Sorry, it's the back. Well, the back looks better than the front at this point, but you get the idea.
Do you know what my favorite? See, I would wear this. I
Yes,
wear
you would.
this.
That's an
She has
Angela
one of
piece.
these in pink, but she wants a lot of money for it.
Oh.
And
What kind of shape is it
it's
in
been
now?
on the rack for many years, so it might not be in the best of shape any longer.
That is stunning.
And this was picked out for the pseudo-Indian look with the paisley cones. It's actually from Paris. It's by Weeks of Paris.
My heart just skipped a
Your-
million
your
times.
colours today.
Look at this.
Isn't that a beauty? That came out of the Salien 40 years ago.
Look
or
at
more.
the silk finishing here. This silk
And
here.
little tassels on the.
Oh, lovely.
Right.
This has been
Look at
in
the
many,
label.
many fashion shows. Yeah.
Wow.
This, I don't know if it's the same company, but this is Weeks, and that gray one that I just showed you a moment ago is Asian, and there was a Weeks store in Shanghai with the same name. obviously. This, I don't have the underdress with it, but this is pseudo-Russian, and of course when we were doing Asia, we forgot about Russia because we were thinking of China, Japan, India, and so on.
So this is what era would this? What year is
Early
this?
20s.
Well, if this, I think this is probably my favorite, one of my favorites.
Where did that come from?
Look at that.
I bought it at a yard sale down here off Main
Oh.
and Second for $2.
I remember
I
that.
couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Outside.
I said,
on the
you know,
street.
and it was all junk and this thing,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh. So I picked it up and I'm sort of hanging on to it, trying to be sort of cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I said,
yeah.
how much you want for this? Sometimes it's handy to look like a big old goofy guy. And how much is it? Oh, I don't know, $2.
$2.
So, but it shouldn't be on a hanger. But this is all stuff that was waiting to go into this exhibition.
So Natasha's heard this story many times, but there's somebody that I know was at a garage sale and they were looking at a Victorian gumball machine
Oh.
and it needed some repair and it had 25 on the tag. And he said to the woman, he said, "Can you do any better on the price?" And she said, "Who doesn't have a quarter?"
A quarter.
And he went, "Oh, yes."
Excuse me.
Look at
Wow.
that.
This I found in Powell River.
This is
It's about 1908.
Bridgerton.
Oh.
Yeah, that
yes.
kind of
Isn't
stuff.
that like Bridgerton?
So that's obviously the back. When they're not done up, they don't look like much from the front. But
Wow.
so, see, I like old.
Powell River.
Yeah, Powell River. There was the estate of a collector.
But it wasn't collected in Powell River.
No,
Oh, it was
Collected
collected
in
somewhere.
She
California
died
in
in-
the 20s
Oh.
and 30s.
this is from Indonesia.
Oh, that's the one that has the label, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From-
Oh, wow.
From whatever you call it. But this is colonial stuff. This is
I found that online years ago.
What does it say? Vander.
Vanderveen.
Yeah, that would have been a Dutch
colonial
colonial
Batavia.
Batavia.
That
which
was
is what
the European
Jakarta
name
is,
for for Indonesia. It's actually the palest shade of blue.
Now you have all the underpinnings too,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
you? That
and
all the
hats.
underwear pieces that
We
go
use a
with.
lot of repro shoes from Peter Fox. That's not terribly interesting. This is pseudo-Japanese. The print, anyway, it's wisteria. Muted colors. So this is what they would have thought of as Orientalism. The little ball fringes and one. This is about 1913.
Wow, so beautiful. I mean, the fact that these are still here and still.
This is
that
about
is-
1915.
Wow.
Look at the lace.
Beautiful
on
lace.
there.
I mean, it's machined, but it's beautiful. This kind of lace is done with an embroidery machine on low-grade paper or silk or wool. And then once the embroidery is embroidered in, they soak it in a caustic solution and the foundation fabric dissolves.
They're still doing that, but
Yeah,
it's not.
absolutely.
They're laying out the paper and.
So
Amazing.
I've never used it. I've had it a long time. So it's all Chinese embroidery.
Stunning, especially for somebody like myself who's such a textileaholic.
We,
know?
my friend Kathleen Taylor, who helps with most of the programs, she and I were out at one of the local little recreation community type museums, and it was a farm site, and one of the staff had her fake Edwardian shirt blouse, and she was complaining because the button came off and she was going to have to get a new blouse. And I said, well, why don't you sew the button on? And she said, I don't know how to sew.
You know, that's a common thing now.
But a
We get a
button.
lot of people that donate their clothes,
Yes.
young
Yeah.
people in particular. Although COVID, the one good thing about COVID is a lot of young people are learning to sew and
Oh,
to
well,
knit
that's
and to
good.
crochet, and
Right.
tatting is becoming a big
Really?
thing again.
Oh, really?
Mhm. There's a lot of websites and Instagram people who are doing all of the handiwork, especially what was considered women's work.
Yeah. These are what are called manila dresses.
Oh.
This one's from the 20s, this one's from the 30s.
So Manila, as in the Philippines,
Yes.
Manila.
And they're done to imitate Hungarian folk blouses. So, and they're done,
Look at
the companies
this
are owned by
smocking.
Chinese people.
This
So
is
this is real multicultural stuff. So it's Chinese
Philippine.
producers in the Philippines using Hungarian traditions for the Western market.
Wow, this smocking is just
Yeah, it's nice. It's not,
Wow.
I don't want to do it, but I understand
No.
the appeal. Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
beautiful.
So there's a quick fix. This is made out of a sari. Obviously this is about 1958 probably. So taking advantage of a nice piece of work, nice piece of fabric.
Oh.
But it's not earth-shaking, but it's
It's-
successful. They did a
yeah.
good job.
I think it's pretty earth-shaking
Yeah.
because it's I know I could probably think of 10 customers I know or people
Yeah.
I know that would wear this.
Yeah,
right
and it's a
now.
decent size for a change too.
It's lovely.
It's in good shape and, properly made, all fortified and structured inside and so on. So it's still a good piece of clothing.
I had a friend that she lived to be 98, lived in her own house, and she said that she was never into the domestic arts. And one time she wanted to buy a store-bought coat for the first time. And then she realized her mother needed the money for linoleum. So she gave her mother the money for the linoleum. And then I said, well, what did you do for a coat? And she said, well, I made one. And I said, I thought you weren't domestically. She goes, everyone knows how to make a coat.
Yeah, right.
No, they
Right.
don't.